Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? We hope you're having a fantastic day. Wherever you may be around this globe, it certainly is a beautiful day, y'all. It's a beautiful day to be intentional and be about your Father's business. You know what? Whatever it is that you have intended to do in your heart, anything that could move that needle forward. Today is the day. It's not tomorrow. Make today count. Because a lot of times what people do, they want to put off for tomorrow and they keep pushing it back, Tiffany. Tomorrow turns into another day and another day and another day. And before long, it's a year down the road because you have constantly pushed back those things that, you so desired to do. What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Tomorrow's not promised.
No, tomorrow's not promised. Not at all. How many, people have left this earth with all those treasures, all those gems? The cemetery is full of people
It
that
is.
have a lot inside of them, that died with a lot inside of them that the world will never get to experience. Okay? Because of their uniqueness, their contributions to the world, their elevation of the mindset, and I'm talking about the mindset of their audience, the mindset of people around them, the impact that people have missed because these people fail to maximize their potential. And that's a good point for me to introduce myself. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, and I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. Y'all, it's so important. And I mean, we went through a couple of years, with the pandemic and everything. But let me tell you, y'all, even during the pandemic, people are maximizing their potential.
Absolutely.
Because, they had time to do that. And I hope that you were in position to do that, taking some time and really get to, go in and see what you have to work with, see what you had on the inside of you. But if not, you could begin today. Don't put off another day. Begin today. Today is your day. Today is the day to get with that business started, get that book started, get whatever it is that you intend to do. Get that started today.
Yeah, like you said, tomorrow's not promised, so you better choose today to get it started. Why put off tomorrow something that you can do today? Because, like you said, you're gonna keep pushing it on and pushing it on, and a year is gonna come out, and I kept intending to do that. Oh, I kept intending to do that. Man, I should have done that. Get it done while you're thinking about it, while the iron is hot. Strike while it's there. Things move when it's hot. You put something on an eye, you go ahead and put the water on, it starts boiling. You go put some metal on there, it can start bending, it can start being cleansed. So while it's hot, go ahead and do it. Work while it's day. So get this stuff taken care of, getting it taken care of and getting it done. Today we've got a great topic for us, and I can't wait to dive into it. But before I do that, I got to tell you who I am. I'm Tiffany Rochelle, the People's Cheerleader. And I am here to encourage you. What I am is I'm an author, speaker, and I'm a coach. So I'm here to help you get rid of some of those toxins that are in your hearts, and I'm here to help push you towards success and get some of those goals taken care of that you want to get taken care of. So again, I'm super excited about this conversation that we're getting ready to have today. Go ahead, make sure you chat with us and share this broadcast with somebody. So I'm ready to get started. We've already started the show, but I'm ready to, as you would say, let's dive in. Let's take a deep dive.
A deep dive, yes, a deep dive. Over this past weekend, I had the opportunity to speak with some great people. And, that's another way, audience, get out, okay? Get out. Social media is one thing, but get out. Begin to mingle with people, even people that you don't know, especially people that you don't know. You'll be surprised, okay, how much not only you could pour into them, but they could pour into you. Because every encounter is an opportunity to learn something or an opportunity to teach something. So, begin to get out, begin to flourish, okay? This is springtime, y'all. Flourish. Allow those treasures just to blossom. Okay. Yesterday I talked about distractions. Distractions are the enemy to greatness. Okay. And I asked the question, okay? Distractions, are you inviting distractions and disturbances? Because sometimes people do. They invite those things in. And that goes right along with our topic today. Sabotaging your way to succeed. Because you may be inviting this.
You may. You
You
may.
know?
You got to be honest with that. See what you're inviting. What
Yeah.
invitations are you putting out there, and what are you inviting people out to? And so once you send that invitation, now you're welcoming people to come in. You're welcoming that stuff to come on in. What are you sending your invitations out to? And it's those unintentional sometimes invitations that you're
Mm.
sending out. So you're having to be cautious and careful of who you're sending this information out to. You got to be very careful. So you got to watch
Good
that.
morning, Keisha.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have to watch that. You know, overcoming your fear of success.
Yeah,
People always talk about overcoming the fear. Fear of failure, but it's the fear of success
man.
that's really, really, something that people should look at because they invite, sometimes unknowingly, invite
Yeah,
things in. Sabotage. I have known people who have sabotaged their success. And we're
man.
going to dive into
Hmm.
those things that happen to cause people to sabotage their success. You
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
So many times. I
Yeah,
mean, grand opportunities, girl.
mercy.
Grand opportunity. I have seen it, with
Hmm.
people. Grand opportunities, and they messed it up,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know?
They
And you
try to
must
get
say,
you.
girl, come on.
Mm-mm,
What were
mm-mm,
you thinking?
mm-mm.
And
What
you're
weren't
still
you thinking?
complaining. Huh? You're still complaining about where you are.
Hmm.
You're still not making this. You're still not doing that. You complaining, but the grand opportunity was there
It was.
and you messed it up,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know?
You got to take advantage of those. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. When those opportunities are before you, take advantage of them. Why not? Stop being afraid of success. That's something you want. So you're asking for something, and then that opportunity comes before you, and then you run from it. Is that what we're doing now? Is that how that works? Why ask for something? It's just like you saying, "Hey, I want a mate. Hey, I want a cat. Hey, I want a dog." And then that thing comes before you, and now you're like, "Oh, I don't want that. I didn't ask for that." Like, "Oh, what do I do with it?" Tend to it. So if you
Mm-hmm.
ask for an animal and then finally somebody gives you a dog and it's the exact dog you want, you're like, "What do I do with it?" Learn how to do it. Google it. Figure it out. You say, "Hey, I want a job." Then you get the job offer, and then you're like, "What do I do with it?" Learn about it. Research it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you should already be prepared for this thing. These are things that you've been researching. These are things that you have been studying. These are things that you have already prepared for. And that's the catch is we have to prepare for this success. So when the opportunity hits us, we're able to go ahead and walk there in. The unfortunate thing is we're not prepared for it. So when it happens, we're like, "Oh my God," and we get paralyzed. Can't be paralyzed no more. Can't be
Mm-hmm.
paralyzed no more. Walk into that.
Got to walk in it, y'all. Got to walk in it. It brings us to the first one, you know.
And that's
Um,
why I stopped because I was getting ready to dive right in there. I
oh,
want you
you
to
were going to
start that.
dive right into
I
that
want
because
you to
everything
start
just
that.
flows in. Yeah, the change, fear of change, fear of change. Oh my God.
Mhm.
And when I said that, and I have this program, I didn't have this person in mind, but there is a person, fear
Mhm.
of change.
Yeah.
Okay. So many opportunities. Okay. So much talent, so gifted,
Yeah.
but fear of change has held this individual in this spot. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
For 20 plus years,
Mercy. That's a long time.
a long time,
That's a long time.
being treated any kind of way, accepting anything.
Mhm.
When this person has an opportunity because of the gifts, talents, and abilities that they have, to maximize their potential.
Mhm.
20 some years,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Scrimping,
Man.
scratching, struggling because fear of change. And what happens with this? When people fear change, they can't see.
Mhm.
Okay? They
Mhm.
cannot see. They're comfortable with that bare minimum, okay? They're
Mm.
in that comfort zone because they can't see. And you know, when you can't see, like on that country road, you know,
Mhm,
you're in
mhm,
your
mhm,
car.
mhm,
It's dark out there. It's
mhm,
heavy fog. So
mhm,
now you're clutching that steering wheel. You're really afraid something might jump out. Okay. So now you're creeping.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Sometimes you stop.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
pull on the side.
yeah,
And how many
yeah.
times people have been on the journey and things have begun to open up for them? Okay.
Mercy. Hmm.
And they stop.
Stuck.
Yeah, stop. They fear a change. Poor, here's another one, poor vision of themselves. They
Man.
haven't done that. They haven't done the first work. They haven't done that homework. They haven't done it. They don't even know who they are. They don't know what they have.
Man.
They're just existing. It's a time to begin living, y'all.
Mhm.
Live. Enjoy
Live.
life each and every day, each
Mhm.
moment. Enjoy life.
Need
Okay?
to. Need
Because,
to.
like you said, Tiffany, tomorrow is not promised
No,
anybody.
it's
But
not.
you
It's
got to
not.
enjoy this journey, y'all.
Mhm.
If you on a journey that you're not you're enjoying, something's wrong. That's not your journey.
Mhm.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
not your journey. I
Mhm.
enjoy this journey. 100%,
Absolutely.
a
Absolutely.
100%. When I was in corporate, I did not enjoy that journey.
Mhm.
It was nothing but a paycheck. It was nothing but a bonus check. It was nothing but perks. Okay, let me tell you. Oh, Mike treated us very well. Okay,
Mhm.
he treated us very well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Mhm.
but let me tell you, I rather this life than that life. You
Uh,
cannot be afraid of change, audience,
you shouldn't be.
especially women. You cannot be afraid
You
of
should
change.
not be.
How many women do not want to change because they don't have confidence in
Mm.
themselves
Mhm.
because they have a poor vision of who they are.
They do. They do have a poor vision of it, and they need to see who they are, realize who you are. And it's funny, that's not funny, but it's interesting that we're talking about this change topic, because in one of the things that I do as being a coach is I do a change resume. Normally, when we have a resume for an individual, it lists off all the accomplishments and stuff that we have, and it
Mhm.
tells us everything that it is that we have listed off. You have to go ahead and start looking at your resume, see the things that you have accomplished in your life, see the things that you have done, see the things that you're able to, or the things that you want to do, and see what's going on. You know, we have these rags to riches stories. People went from where they were at to becoming this great success, all because they had to conquer this thing called change. They had to conquer this thing called fear so that they are able to change, so they are able to come and welcome themselves or to walk into this thing called this riches story. So they went from maybe being broke to now they're in their abundance, but they had to embrace this thing called change. And many people feel like change is hard. It can be uncomfortable. Sure, it can be hard, but it's one of those things that are necessary. And if you don't take those steps to go ahead and make that change, you're always going to be stuck. You're always going to be stagnated. But I encourage you to look at your resume of your life, to see what it is that you have accomplished. Own everything that it is that you have accomplished. And you'll be able to help yourself, and you'll be able to see, like, I've done that already. These are certain things that I have accomplished already. So since you've seen that, these are greater works that you're able to do, but you have to be able to embrace some of the things that you have done, so you'll be able to overcome and conquer the things that you want to do. So you see that you have done it already. So just go ahead and accept that, embrace that. It's some positive accomplishments that you've already done. So if you've done it before, greater can you do later on. So we're
Yeah.
looking forward to success. That's what we want to see. So go ahead and write down some of the stuff that I'm going to encourage you to do. That write down some of the things that you have already done, some of the things that you've already accomplished. And since you've already accomplished that, you've seen what you can conquer, you'll be able to check that off. That's going to be something, man, I did that. Man, I did that. That's encouraging yourself. That's boosting yourself up to walk in this new change that you want to see. So again, it's the rags to riches story. You're right where you're at now. I'm not saying you're raggedy, but you may not be where you want to be right now, but it's going to help you get to where you're going to get. It's your sales tactic. Go for a job interview. They want to see your resume. If you can sell yourself on the resume, then they're like, oh, I see what you got. come on in and let me see what you're talking about. Let's see if this resume matches up to whatever it is that you're talking about. What, and sometimes we forget the things that we've done already. So sometimes putting those down to see it is going to be an encouragement. You just got to be able to see it before you see it. Or you'll never see it. So I
No,
want
see.
to encourage you to do that. Write down your accomplishments so that you're able to help yourself embrace the change that you want to see so you can become better.
And it's so true, hard. One of the things you're talking about, hard, sometimes, people find it hard to shake off that dead weight because they're so used to that comfort. They're so used to that certain weight. So if they will shake it off, if they will come to that place where they could shake off that dead weight, they'll find out that they could float
Of
instead of
course.
struggling. Some people get so used to the struggle. They
Don't
get
have
so
to.
used to that because, that's always
Don't get used to the struggle. Wait a minute, you froze. I hope it's just
been
something
with
on.
them.
There you go.
And there I
You
am,
froze. You froze.
it does at that time. But,
Uh,
20 plus years, this person, has struggled.
man.
Struggle, afraid
Mhm.
of change. You cannot be afraid of change.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to that, what Tiffany just talked about, that resume. List those things.
You
Okay,
need to.
those things.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm almost positive if I start talking and watch her come back in and I start making a point, she gonna come
That you
back
have
in.
already
There's,
accomplished because there's higher. There we
mhm.
go, Tiffany.
There you are.
Fear.
Now I hear
We
you. We're cooking with
fear.
grease.
This internet. We just have to keep on pushing through. This
Hmm.
internet is something else, but that's all right. Okay,
It is.
that's all
So what
right.
was you saying about fear? Because I know
No,
you
I'm
had a
just
good
starting with fear. I didn't
okay.
say nothing yet. Yeah,
Okay.
fear. You
Okay.
know, a person fears things when they haven't prepared their vision. When we talk about sabotaging your way to succeed, they haven't prepared that vision. They haven't written that vision down. Okay. They haven't made it plain before their eyes. They haven't done that work. So now they don't know what's ahead. Okay. So now they're fearing it. They have a closed perception. A closed perception. They all in their head. Yesterday I talked about getting out your head. Okay. Opening up your mind to expansion. Because once you open up your mind to expansion, you'll never go back. Okay. Your mind will constantly expand. But you have to open up your mind to that. You cannot fear. Okay. People fear the unknown. When you fear the unknown and you stay there and you get stuck there. Okay. You get stuck. But you have to prepare your vision. And you might say, oh, this is redundant. Why do I have to write it down? That simple thing of writing it down makes a big, big difference. It will bring you into an area where now you're able to see things where you were blind before, where you were reluctant to change because you couldn't see, because there was a fear there. It'll open you up. That's the first step. Anybody that say that I'm thinking about writing a book, or
Mhm.
I'm thinking about opening a business, or I've written
Yeah.
a book, I have opened a business, and you
Mhm.
have not written that vision down, something's
That's it.
wrong.
Something's
Okay,
wrong.
you're not on the right track. You will fail.
You will.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're not gonna be able to maximize your potential. You're just gonna be settling for the crumbs. Is that what you
Mhm.
want? Do you want to settle for the crumbs when there's so much more for you?
Why? Why settle for crumbs?
Yeah, why?
You got a whole meal that could be prepared for you, and you want to settle for crumbs for what?
Girl, the whole meal. A 10-course plus meal, okay? Everything in between.
Right. There is
From the
no reason.
appetizers, the soups, all the way to the dessert, and the coffee and crumpets
Mhm.
later on, whatever.
You got it
Okay?
all. Hmm.
Into the cocktails, whatever.
Hmm.
Okay? You have all of this.
Hmm. Hmm.
The richness of the journey. There's a richness, y'all, of the journey.
Absolutely, there is.
And you settling for the happy meal.
Mhm. Don't have to. Now, that's
The
just this
happy
little.
meal. I hate to put it that way, but that's the only way.
And then the
A
downfall to
richness.
it, and it makes you feel better because you hear the word happy, and so you're just happy to have a meal, or you think it's going to be good enough just because of the word happy is in there, so that you feel like it's appeasing to you just because it's a happy meal. Don't settle for less. You're just settling for that, and there's no need for you to settle when there's an abundance out there. And I think the catch is you're fearful for that abundance, and you're so used to making excuses for yourself, and you're
Mm,
so used to making excuses for your life, so therefore you're allowing that fear to overtake you. And if we stop being so fearful, because it's just allowing us to make excuses. I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that, oh it's too hard, oh it's too risky, it's going to take too long, it's going to be overwhelming, I don't have enough time for that. You're just creating excuses for yourself, which is helping you to embrace the fear of going ahead and walking in what it is that you need to go ahead and do. Leave out all the buts, leave out all the fears, leave out all your excuses, because that's all that is just helping you to embrace your fears. It's not too hard. It's really not.
mm,
Stop feeling overwhelmed. Again, it's just really not that hard. You just need to go ahead and get over it. You're just choosing to embrace that fear. Risk
mhm.
is kind of risky. You choose to fear risk instead of facing your fears. Face your fears head on. Understand you're going to be able to
Yeah.
overcome it. It's not going to be as hard as you're making it seem,
Mm-mm.
because again, you're just throwing excuses in there. It's not going to be too risky, okay, or whatever. What's the risk? Take the risk, and then watch you see that you're going to be able to overcome it. You're saying it's going to take too long. It takes too long to do our hair sometimes. Like, so you're
Mhm.
going to take that moment to do your hair. That didn't take, you was willing to take that time out to do your hair. So why not take the time out to make yourself better? You feel like something's overwhelming. Sometimes cleaning our houses can be overwhelming, but it's something that you have to do. Take the time out, and if you will manage your time well, things aren't going to seem overwhelming. You're going to take the over out of the whelm. So just go ahead and manage your time, and you'll be able to do it. Stop creating excuses for yourself, because all your excuses is doing is just building and reinforcing your fears. Let go of the excuses, let go of the buts, get over it, so we can conquer these fears head on, so we can be able to be the successful individuals that we want to be.
Successful individuals, no clarity. This is another one, with that. No clarity.
Yeah.
Cannot see anything.
Yeah.
Because why there isn't any clarity? And you even hear people say, there's confusion. They have too much going on. Okay. They got all these things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As
Mm-hmm.
excuse for not.
Excuse.
Yeah, excuses.
Mm-hmm.
People that's bombarding and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they got this going on. They over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they writing the book. They
Mm-hmm.
selling chicken dinners.
Mm-hmm.
They over here with hair products. They over here being a virtual assistant. They got all this going on. I spoke to somebody recently. Got
Mm-hmm.
all these things going on, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh my God, no wonder you're
Mm-hmm.
worn out. No
Mm-hmm.
wonder you
You're
can't,
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
and have lost their time, have lost it, sabotaging their way to success.
You've
Okay?
lost your time. That's
Lost the
major.
time. And you hear people saying that, I just can't find the time to do it. I can't find the time. Before, I get ready to do this and the time's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
The time is gone. They've
You weren't a
lost
good manager
themselves.
of your time.
All this stuff. Okay.
Mhm,
Always reaching for something on the outside
mhm.
to benefit them.
Yeah,
When all the time it's on the inside. Yo, it's on
it's
the
in you.
inside, audience.
It's in
It's
you.
not on the outside of you.
It's in you.
Everything you need is on the inside of you.
Mhm,
You know, outside will never satisfy you. Been there, done that. Was broken. No amount of money will buy satisfaction. No amount of money will fill that void until you look on the inside of you. That's what fills the void, you know? So stop using that excuse, you know? You even hear people say, I'm going to find myself. What you sitting right there? How you going to find yourself? Or they're in a situation, I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna move. Somebody recently told me, I think, Gertrude, what you think about Arizona? I'm thinking about moving to Arizona. And this was, a guy that told me this. I said, what's in Arizona? First, you got to come, it's inside of you. Get that straight first. You don't have to, you can't run away from yourself. Sabotaging your way to succeed.
You're right. You cannot run away from yourself. That's a major statement right there in itself. That right there. And I need to make sure I write that down. You can't run away from yourself. And sometimes that's what ends up happening is we attempt to run away from ourselves. And we feel like because we relocate to another area or we relocate to another city, another state, even another country, that we have escaped from the reality of whatever it is. Now, you might have been able to escape from certain situations that was around you, but you still have to deal with you. So whatever that negative situation is, if you had a bad mouth, you got a bad attitude, because there's several attitudes. We always want to say, oh, what's your attitude? What is your attitude? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you mad? What kind of attitude do you have? And we have to understand that we can't hide from us. Those are the feelings that we have inside of us. What is the attitude that you're going to have? You can't run from you. You are stuck with you. So sure, you left that situation. Sure, you left that state. Sure, you've left that city, but you can't leave you. So you have to deal with some of the things that are inside of you, some of the mental stresses, some of the mental anguishes, some of the emotional hurt that you've had. All of these things you have to deal with, because whatever city you've moved to, whatever state you've moved to, or whatever country you've moved to, let's go to another job. You might stay in that city that you're in. Whatever job you're going to, okay, you done divorced. Now you're in another relationship. The things can go on. We can change different kind of situations. But what have you changed about you? What in you has grown, or what is it that you have released from you so that you're no longer dealing in that particular situation? We have to face our feelings head on. And I have to realize, oh, this is a trigger for me. Wow, I don't like that. And I'm not going to allow people to easily pull the trigger. Any triggers that are going to be pulled is because I went to a gun range. That's the only triggers that I'm going to allow to be pulled. I don't need to allow anybody to set me off in any ways. If there's something that is causing me, somebody says, shut up, that doesn't need to be a trigger for me. So let me work on that. And let me where did that word arrive that causes me to be like, you telling me to shut up? What happened? Let's sit with those feelings. Who told you to shut up? How many times did you hear that? Is it something that your mama said to you? Your grandmother said to you? Is it something that some disciplinarian said to you? Your cousin, sister, brother? Where did that originate? Figure out where that came from. Let's sit with that feeling. Why did you hear that? What was your emotions? What were you doing in that moment that's causing the word shut up to be such a word that's inciting your riot? What happened to you in that moment? Let's deal with those feelings so that we can move forward, because there's nowhere that you're going to be able to go. There's nowhere that you're going to be able to run to that's going to run you away from you. You have to deal with you, because no matter what situation you go to, you still have you to deal with. So go ahead and move, travel, get some air miles, get some road traveling on there. Go ahead and be a road ranger, do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, the beginning of the day and the middle of the day, you still have to deal with you. Deal with your feelings, deal with your emotions, so that you'll be able to be a better individual at whatever situation you're in.
Okay. That's so true. Yeah, because that's it. Because those emotional triggers. Okay, sit with yourself and see emotional triggers. What's setting you off? What's setting you off to be not motivated? You have to deal with that. Not motivated. It's people that's sitting there. And let me tell you. That's why you have to know when to deal with people and when not to deal with people. Because that very one thing right there, when I'm talking about not motivated, that could pull you under. Okay? Because that has power in itself, that negativity to pull you under. I'm not going to be a part of your pity party. I'm not going to be a part of you pulling me under. That's the first thing you should say to yourself. I'm not going to be a part of that, because usually birds of a feather flock together, right? Pity always like a party. Negativity sticking together. You got to change. You got to change. Being not motivated. Okay? Like she said, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Get with yourself. See where it's coming from. Those wrong exposures to people, places, and things. Wrong exposure. All those feelings. You have to deal with those things, because if you don't deal with them, they will sabotage your way to succeed each and every time. Learn how to handle, criticism of others, people criticizing you. If you walk and be authentically you and live your truth, okay, and be you, you have to know who you are, y'all. You got to know who you are in order to, come out of this, what we're talking about here, feelings, and how not to sabotage yourself. Because once you know who you are, all of these things, it won't matter to you anymore. It will not matter to you anymore, because you'll be motivated, because you're living your truth. But as long as you're trying to make excuses, or you're living a lie, and a lie is pretending, a lie is wearing a mask. And I'm not talking about the mask on your nose, okay? I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that facial mask. I'm talking about that mask where, you're pretending to be somebody you're not. You're pretending to, live somebody else's life through your own. That's not you. Who are you? That's the question. You have to face yourself, and you can't have that whatever happens attitude, You have to take charge of your life. You have to take charge of your life. Responsibility. Be that responsible person that you are, and that comes with living your truth. Take charge of your life. It's not whatever will be, will be. No. Just laying around daydreaming and no action. Yo, what's that about? You daydreaming about all these wonderful things. All these wonderful things, Tiffany, that you're going to do and how it's going to be. But you take no action. There's a difference between daydreaming and living your dream. Okay? You got to live this thing. It's in every fiber of your being when you connect it up. But as long as you're scattered, as long as you're confused, because now you got too many things going, and you're reaching outward instead of, living from the inside out, you're always going to be in this. And your feelings, your feelings will get hurt, because now what's happening? You're so angry with yourself. You're so disappointed in yourself, that now you have an attitude. Now, you're projecting things that you shouldn't be projecting.
Mm-hmm.
You're angry with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
You're sabotaging your way to succeed. And the very people that can help you, you pushing away from them. Because these are the people that's on your journey. These are the people that's on your design path.
Yep.
These are the people who have come into your life in order to help you. And now you're pushing them away, because now you're in your feelings.
And then you can help get out of your feelings, because you show us about to usher into that. So you might as well walk on in that.
Yeah, accepting responsibility, accept responsibility. Don't be afraid, y'all, to move forward.
Don't be afraid.
Why are you afraid to move forward? I'm telling you, go back and do the first work.
Ooh, that's
and you
major.
Won't be afraid to move forward.
That's
okay?
major.
Walk in your design path. Okay? Not somebody else's path that they have designed for you. What's that about, Tiffany? You're going to allow somebody to go and design your path for you. you can't take responsibility for who you are. But now, you, on the other hand, now you're saying, I'm grown. Nobody tell me what to do. But you're allowing people to design your path. They're telling you what you should do. You're over here on this job. They're telling you what to do. You get mad at that when you're over here on this other job. The supervisor's telling you what to do. But inside yourself, you feel like, you know, you already know what to do. Why are they micromanaging me? Why are they standing over my shoulders? Y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. Y'all have said this. Audience, y'all have said this. Accept responsibility and stop sabotaging your way to succeed. Okay? Everything you need is inside of you. Learn from each step that you take. Okay? You have to weigh it out. You have to weigh it out. You know, what is this lesson teaching you? Okay? That's what you say. What is this lesson teaching me? Let's put it in that context. What is this lesson teaching me? What have I learned from it? You have to, accept responsibility for who you are. Who are you?
Okay. Take responsibility of that. And knowing who you are matters. And that helps you to take on the different responsibilities because you know how much it is that you can handle. You know how much it is that you can't handle. And you know exactly where you're able to go with from that. Because I think sometimes it's kind of hard for us to take ownership, I think, of responsibilities because we take on more responsibility than what's truly ours. And we start overcommitting to certain things. We start picking up for others, and you see other people starting to slack off. So then we'll start picking up other people's different things that they're doing, or you're saying yes to too many things, and you're not asking people for help. And so when you don't ask for help, that starts to get in the way of your progress and for you enjoying life. And things aren't able to manifest in your life because you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like you're overworked because you've taken on too much. Only take on the things that you're responsible for. Once you realize these are things that you're responsible for, good morning. Once you realize that these are the things that you're responsible for, and this is just all that you are, it's easier for you just to start dealing with stuff and you not feeling so overwhelmed. You're not going to be feeling like, oh, I can't handle this. This is just too much, because you're taking responsibility of just what is belonging to you, not feeling overwhelmed because of somebody else. That's what we have to really realize. I need help with this. Ask for help, saying, this is just too much, or I am not, you're slacking. So, hey, since you're slacking, you need to pick this up. It's okay for you to suggest somebody to do something. But just because you see somebody else slacking off doesn't mean that you got to take that, because now that's taking too much for you. Just accept the things that you're responsible for. You are responsible for your actions. You're responsible for your responses to other individuals. You can't control how somebody else says something to you. You can't control how somebody else is feeling. You may want to, but you can't. You take responsibility for how you feel and ownership of things that are in your control. You won't feel so overwhelmed the minute that you start letting go of other people's stuff. And you're going to realize, oh my God, why was I taking that on? I bet you'll start being able to breathe then when you let go of other people's stuff. That's their issues. That's their responsibility. I'm living for me. I'm accepting what I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for making sure I got a roof over my head. I'm responsible for, my kids are grown now, but I still have a level of responsibility towards them as well. I'm owning what I'm responsible for. I can't overwhelm myself with everybody else's issues. Now, I can help you with some of your stuff, but key word is help. I'm not taking over. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my actions, and that's it.
Yeah. And that's control. People, and there's some people that always think that they control things, know what you're capable of and what you need to do versus what others want you to do. And that's so true. Okay. Because no is a whole word. No.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
No, tell them no. Who cares if they like it or not? Okay. When you're walking authentic and you're being truthful, to yourself, you can say no. Okay.
Absolutely.
And
And
like you
stand
say,
flat-footed in it.
huh?
And stand flat-footed in it.
And
I ain't
stand
wavering
flat
from my
footed in
no.
it. Toe to toe,
No,
right? Nose to
no.
nose, toe to toe. What? Don't let people live vicariously through you.
Uh-huh.
That is a what? Diversion and
And
distraction from
distraction.
your purpose. It's
Mm-hmm.
so true. It's
Mm-hmm.
so true. But you know what? You know what, Joshua? This is what happened. People like to hide behind others.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the way they sabotage their success. That's the way they make excuse. Well, I had to do this for so and so. Always trying to solve other people's problems.
Mm-hmm.
And this is real talk because I done this one time on my writing journey. Okay, I did this. Okay, had a whole business and everything else, the same business I'm operating in now. But I'm being truthful for too with you all. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
thinking that I need to help this person in their vision. There's people. And especially when we are people that love to help people, that love to see people succeed. We have to be careful with that. Okay, and pushing my business and my vision on the back burner, not operating 100% in what I should
Mm-hmm.
be operating in because I felt like I should be pushing this person's vision. Okay? And that happens to a lot of us, especially you women. Okay? Putting yourself on the back burner, taking care of everybody else. Okay? And I'm not talking about only your spouse, your children,
Mm-hmm.
your parents, if they're living at home with you, those people in the household. I'm talking about outside people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's where you get into trouble. The outside people. You're putting everybody's priorities ahead of yours.
Man.
Yeah,
That's
priority.
okay.
Where
That's
it should
okay.
be their responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
not your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
How can you, you
Mm-hmm.
know, be the voice for somebody else's vision when you leave your vision in the background where you're supposed to be the voice and the face for that vision?
Mercy. Mercy. Mercy.
People have done that.
They have.
I
Mm-hmm.
have done that
Mm-hmm.
until I had to, I got a word from God. He said, how you gonna, Gertrude? It's not that time to help. Why are you always helping other people?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna tell you, when you have a sharing and caring heart, y'all,
Yeah.
this is what you do.
That's what happens.
Yeah. But you have to say no. Okay? They
Mm-hmm.
have to learn. You can't help them learn. They have to learn on their own, just like
Absolutely.
you have to learn. You
Absolutely.
have to accept your own responsibility and allow them to accept their responsibility and stop
Ooh.
sabotaging your way to success. You see, that was a deterrent for me. That was a diversion for me. Okay? I learned that.
Uh-huh.
And every time that thing try to come back again, because it'll try to show its ugly head.
You sneak
I,
up on it. Mm-hmm.
I stand flat footed. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I do. Nose
Mm-hmm.
to nose, toe to toe.
Uh-huh. Well, you so confrontational, nose to nose. Oh, you confront.
Girl, when it comes to my vision, nose to
Yeah.
nose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As you should.
Tiffany,
Ab-
nose to
Absolutely.
nose. That's what you got to do.
That's why I'm saying it's the absolute truth and a fact. Okay, when it comes to your vision, your life, the things that matter to you. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
standing flat foot. I'm still listen. Even if you push me up against the wall, all it is just going to do is just to help me stand my ground. You
Yeah.
think you backing me up on the wall and I got you cornered. No, that just helped me. That just helped lunge me. All I need, it just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
gave me a little bit of second to rest, just a little bit. And I'm like, oh, you thought you had me? You have no idea that just gave me the strength I needed. If you ever
Yeah.
been into a workout somewhere, you just get somebody to kind of support you, that wall that you thought you backed me up against, all it did was just to help me a little bit. I just had a support system that just helped lunge me into success. So
Yeah.
you thinking you pushed me on the wall? No, that was my propeller. So that's what that is. I just got a little bit of footing, and that helped me say, you know what? That's what that was that push that
Yeah.
I needed. So thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. You ain't pushed me up against the wall.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to stand nose to nose. I'm going to stand
Yeah.
flat footed. I'm going to go ahead and be confrontational because I have a vision that I need to make sure that it comes to pass, that everybody is able to see this vision. And
Yeah.
I kid you not, I'm not going to allow anybody to see. If I'm going to defend my kids, I'm going to defend my vision. If I'm going to defend my mama, somebody say, yo, mama, my mama, what? And so if I'm going to defend them, why wouldn't I defend my own vision? Why wouldn't I defend me? Sometimes we refuse to do that. We will not defend ourselves. We will not defend our visions. We will not defend our worldview. We're going to be defenders of our faith. So why can't we defend ourselves? Man.
Exactly. And that's endurance, endurance. You're pushing, you're pushing, just like the feet. I know my son them go to the gym. I forgot how many weights he pushed with his feet, but it's in the high numbers. I forgot, girl.
Oh, and I promise you, I got some strong legs. Do you hear me? Like when my trainer used to tell me stuff like, I kid you not, I will go ahead because you sit on that little, I don't know what the little machine is called. It looks like a little, I call it a bench press, but it's not. But I sit and I would sit there, and I kid you not, I think I was able to do, the last time I checked, I was 125 that I was able to, because I'm almost able to push my own weight. I might be able to do it now. That's just the last that I remember, but I was able to push that. Don't play with me and my legs. My friend says she got that old man strength. Like, so don't play with me. I kid you, if I can get straight, if I'm on my feet, don't play with me. Even if you have me on my back, if I'm able to move and I can get them feet, it's OV.
It's over.
It's over. Kid you not, I got some good legs. I got some strength in them. So don't play with me in them legs. You think you're backing me up on the minute I get on my feet, it's over. And that's a lot of people. Sometimes we are experiencing situations and we feel like we have been knocked down and we can't. The minute we get on our feet,
that is over.
It's OVER.
It's over. And that's true. That's endurance, that training,
Absolutely.
But then you have to do these things like what we're telling you. You have to prepare yourself, y'all, because even with that, I remember a friend of my son's, he went to the gym one time where don't allow supporting others become a sponge draining your spirit. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before, Joshua. Can't help everybody because it will drain you because they don't want to do it. Okay, they don't want to do it. But just getting back to this story, and we went to the endurance training. He's trying to say that they forced him to push all these weights. And you see, he's a mailman. And this was during Christmas time. He had to go up the third floor with a Christmas tree and almost fell down the stairs with the tree.
Because he's doing all that leg training and all this walking up and down and carrying packages. The devil is a whole liar and his mama's breath.
Yes. I ain't doing it. But you have to, you have to prepare for this, y'all. You have to build that endurance. And just like you say, Joshua, don't let them bloodsuckers come and suck the life out of you. You got to cut those things off. And we were talking about that, being around those people that's not adding to you, being on that path with people that's not supporting your purpose. And I'm not saying like supporting your purpose in that way, but who are destined to be on that path, you each adding to each other, you're not taking away anything. Some people are just out of line with their purpose. They're out of position. And that moves us into, the next one, lack of discipline, How about this one? Sabotaging your way to success, lack of discipline. Just saying anything and doing, thinking anything. And I call this diarrhea of the mouth. Okay, just running off. Diarrhea of the mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're sabotaging your own success. You're saying one thing and you're thinking something else and you're doing something that's completely opposite of the other two things that you've done. Saying one thing, thinking something else and doing something completely opposite. Diarrhea of the mouth. Just thoughts running wild in your head. Just crazy stuff. You have to learn how to discipline your mind. Okay? Things are not supposed to be running through your mind. Okay? You have to have some control over that. And don't say, I can't control that. Yes, you can.
Sure you can.
Learn self-discipline. Just running off at the mouth. Just saying anything. Foolish things. Learn not to be saying foolish things. Learn not to be just repeating things everybody else say. Walk true to your purpose. Walk true to your design path. Okay? You have to live in your truth. Everything about you is supposed to be the truth. Learn to speak the truth. Learn to think the truth. Learn to act the truth. according to your purpose, according to your design, and
Mhm.
stop repeating everything. There's so many times, and you see that
Yeah.
in society now. They always want to repeat what the news say, what this is say, what that
Mhm.
one say. And sometimes, I call people on the call, but I say, now the news is saying this over here. Okay? Now, does that make any sense? Well, they said it, but, and I did my research, but the whole thing's not making no kind of sense, Tiffany. No kind of sense whatsoever. You know, you got to live your truth, y'all.
You
You
definitely need to
got to
live it.
live your truth. Okay? Just because the economy is down or inflation is high or whatever, it doesn't have to affect you. It doesn't have to affect you. You have to know who you are, and you have to know what you have to work with. Whose voice are you listening to?
Whose voice is you listening to? Whose report are you gonna believe?
Nah.
you you better understand the power of your voice. And kid you not, if your words don't provide power or inspiration, keep it to yourself and tell God. That part right there. You you better understand that there's power in your voice. Kid you not. And I don't think that we really understand that. But in the process of us having discipline, what is discipline? And I had to go Google that one. What is discipline? Discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have to do some type of punishment, but the B clause to that is a branch or knowledge, typically one studied in higher education. All I'm meaning in regards to me telling you this particular discipline is we need to have the practice of training people to obey certain rules or behaviors. What is the behavior that you're exhibiting? What is the rules that you have governed for your life? Some of these rules that we have, there's some things that we grew up, that we were taught, some things we need to get rid of, some things that we need to go ahead. These are some things that we were taught when we were kids that we just haven't instituted, and that was some good teaching that we got, and we just never instituted it for our lives. So sometimes certain things we need to go ahead and pick up and practice and go ahead and go forth with those things. And in regards to that, and I'm gonna kind of go I'm gonna change the word or the verbiage a little bit of it, because it was saying something about punishment. I'm going to look at it in the aspect of we're being punished because there's certain things that we have not been doing because we've lacked the discipline in our life. So there's some opportunities that has passed us by, or some opportunities that haven't been present, because that's a little bit of a punishment because we have not been walking in the way that we needed to go. So if we can stop lacking the discipline that we need, if we can stop lacking doing the things that we need to do, don't let there be lack in your life. Take
Mm-hmm.
off the lack in there. Have some discipline. Control your mouth. Control your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. Control some of the behaviors that you're having so that you can exhibit the life that you want to live. But that control thing is something that we have to have. Sometimes you don't have to respond to everything. I was talking to a dear friend of mine yesterday, and in the process of talking to my friend, as you know what, Tiffany, you don't have to respond to every single thing that happens. And I was like, I don't respond to things that every single thing that happens. Like, if you don't understand me, you don't understand me. I do not respond to every single thing. There's so many things that I ignore. And then,
Mm-hmm.
and if I paid attention to a lot of the things that happen, or I gave my attention to a lot of things, then therefore I'm going to lack discipline. And you're going to
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of actions out of me that you don't need to see out of me. Or there's going to be some behaviors that are going to come out. And I'm just too old for that. My body isn't going to recover the way it needs to, because because I didn't exercise that discipline that was definitely needed. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, if we would go ahead and institute certain behaviors, or get rid of certain behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
things are going to work out a whole lot better for us. But we need to stop lacking the discipline. Go ahead and start controlling our mouths. Go ahead and start
Mm-hmm.
controlling the thoughts that are coming into our heads, and exercise discipline. Take off the lack and exercise some discipline. Nothing is wrong with discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline gets us to where we're getting ready to get to. Discipline gets us some of the life that we are experiencing now, or the life that we want to. If we create certain habits, then we have a discipline that we're doing, and we're going to become a better individual for it. We're going to become better for it. I appreciate the military personnel because there are certain disciplines that they have. Go ahead and embrace those things so that we'll be able to live the life that we want to.
Mm-hmm. Banter and murmuring, that's true. And discipline. Don't let lack of discipline become your chastisement throughout your life. That's it.
Man. Mm-hmm.
I belong to the team of a team
Absolutely.
abundance, not team lack. That's it.
There is no lack in my life. I'm so serious about that. No, if any lack that's thereof, we need to get rid of that. There should be
Got to
no
get
lack
rid
in my
of it.
life. And even if I'm lacking in something, I have a good team that we're overflow. We're in the overflow of abundance. So there's
That's
no
it.
lack that's going to be where I'm weak, somebody else is strong at. And
That's
if you
it.
have yourself surrounded by a good team, I kid you not, there should be no failure in it. So we're
Yep.
always going to be able to survive, and we're always going to be able to thrive, and we're going to be able to be successful individuals if you have a good team around you. Again, where I'm weak, somebody's strong, and we're going to be able to overcome it. Even when you're weak, somebody else around you is strong. I might be your strength for something.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, we got a good team, and we're going to make it happen.
And that's true. We got to make it happen, y'all. So we have to, make these things happen in our lives. And we all have to be responsible for them. You
Yeah.
know, accountability agents and purpose partners. And that's it. So you can't sabotage
Get
your
your
way to
alliteration.
success. Yes, you cannot. Cannot. You have to change. You can't be afraid of change. You can't allow fear to stop you. You have to see. Okay, you have to write down your vision and make it plain. And based on the fields, you have to get inside of yourself and root out those things. Like he said, I think at least change one behavior each and every day. You can
Yeah.
change. You have the power to change the way that you think, to change the way that you live. You have the power to do that. And you
You
can't
do.
sit around and be lazy. You have to accept responsibility. And you have to have discipline. You have to have discipline. And the chastisement is, living that life of lack. Okay. You don't have to lack. You don't have to be struggling. You don't have to do any of those things. It's because you have not faced responsibility. So take actions for the things that you have failed to do and be a responsible human being. And I hope that what we have shared with you has brought value to your life and to help you to maximize your potential and stop allowing money to be left on the table. You can't get angry at nobody else except yourself. It's
You.
your time. It's your time to shine. It's your time to allow your brilliance to come forth in order to help others. Not only others, but your life also.
Yeah.
Bring a transformation in every life that you meet, even your own. So,
Yes.
with that being said, we thank you all for dropping by today on
Yes.
this segment of Turning Your Passion in the Profit Morning Show. And we look forward to seeing you the next time. We
Yes.
want you to remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. Have a great rest of your day.
Grace and peace, everyone. Take care.